Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities. Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
Good morning, and this is the CBC News Report for December 29th. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development has released its Global 2024 Economic Outlook. The world economy has proved more resilient than most analysts would have anticipated at the start of 2023. In particular, global inflation has fallen without big surges in unemployment. However, policymakers desperate to engineer a soft landing are not out of the woods yet. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, global output, while highly fragmented, will slow in 2024 as high interest rates snuff out persistent inflation and, by extension, economic activity. The Paris-based organization does not anticipate growth to edge up until 2025, at which point the leading central banks are expected to aggressively slash borrowing costs. The slashing of those costs will make it better for local banks and the world and the global picture to be able to borrow at better interest rates. The OECD's outlook points to a long fiscal hangover from COVID-19, followed by surges in energy prices after Russia invaded the Ukraine. Still, economic forecasting is not an exact science, and 12 months ago it was predicted that the United States recession would have been widespread. Elsewhere, market makers are betting that higher debt costs would trigger a spate of sovereign defaults across the developing world. Neither of them has as yet occurred. In an effort to lower inflation, the U.S. Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rate from net zero last March to 5.25 and 5.5% today. Well, that should have been yesterday. The experience showed that the American economy, the largest in the world, can withstand higher borrowing costs. At the same time, unemployment has fallen to near multi-decade low as inflation has edged down. The upshot is that the U.S. output has somewhat surprisingly changed along at an annualized pace of 2%. We'll take a break and be back with more news.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC Newsnight at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Time for internationals now. The United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees has warned that not enough aid is entering besieged Gaza, leaving 40% of its population at risk of famine amid Israeli curbs on entry of much-needed aid trucks to enter the enclave. The UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, on Thursday renewed its warning that the besieged enclave is grappling with catastrophic hunger as it reiterated calls for a humanitarian ceasefire as non-stop Israeli bombs rained from the north to the southern part of the enclave.
Palestinians in Gaza know outrunning Israeli bombs is futile, but it doesn't stop them from trying.
Our home was demolished and my son was killed. We fled and the bombing lasted all night. We came here from Khan Yunis. There is no proper shelter. Every time we go to an area, they target us there.
Families and strangers crowd together in tents in Deir al-Balah as the Israeli military pushes ahead with its ground assault further north.
We ask for one thing: stop this war, stop people suffering at any cost. It is terrible. Children are sleeping in the cold. I brought a disabled girl from Al Burej. I struggled to bring her here. Walking all this way with disabled people and children, this is the height of suffering. Death would be more merciful.
Many fled their homes without enough warm clothes and blankets. They thought they'd be able to return. The UN is warning all Palestinians in Gaza are at risk of famine. More than 500,000 people are already starving. And malnourished children, especially those forced to sleep outside, are vulnerable to hypothermia. It's either death by bombs and bullets or a slow death from hunger and cold.
Leave me alone. Let me live. Either you let me live or kill me. I don't want to see the tragedy of my children when they say they want bread, and I'm unable to give it to them. Our money has run out. There is nothing left.
On the brink of despair, these families have been displaced multiple times, and now that they may well be forced to move again.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says the Gaza population in its grave peril, and it's urging the international community to do more.
Waiting to die in one of Gaza's last remaining hospitals. That's the UN's assessment of patients seeking treatment in the territory's shattered medical system. Relentless Israeli bombardment and dwindling supplies means there are no longer any functioning hospitals in northern Gaza. There isn't enough blood, fluids, or fuel to run generators that power ventilators. And according to UNICEF, at least 1,000 children have had their limbs amputated without anesthetic.
I've been to the north. I was in Al Ahli hospital just a few days ago, where the health workers there can't even do the basics anymore. So you have wounds infested by flies. You have people who will die of injuries that should not be killing people.
Al Ahli Baptist Hospital is overburdened with patients, so much so that its church is now being used to house the injured. The trickle of aid coming into Gaza not nearly a match for the severity of the healthcare crisis.
We have some medication. You don't have like privilege to choose which one is the best. You will use whatever it's available, but after the surgery, you don't have the best option for your patient. So you will use old medication which can cause side effect, causing more bleeding, will harm the patient rather than to help him. Otherwise, you will leave him with like suffering from pain.
In the south, another wave of injured arrive at a hospital operating at 3 times its capacity. Staff struggling with the same shortages as their colleagues in the north. These Palestinian families from Gaza City heeded Israel's evacuation order early in the war. They moved south, believing they would be safe.
We were sitting and eating when we found something falling over our heads. None of us are Hamas members or anything. I wish we hadn't come to Khan Yunis. I wish we'd stayed in Gaza City. There are wounded here and there are wounded there. I wish we had just stayed in Gaza City.
The hospitals in the south are the only ones still partially functioning, but even they are not spared from Israel's expanding offensive. Paramedics from the Palestine Red Crescent Society attend to more wounded. The agency's headquarters were attacked this week. Within these walls, doctors are forced to step over bodies as they rush to the next patient, hoping at least some will survive. While the courtyards have become a burial site, a place of mourning in what's supposed to be a place of healing.
Time to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. This morning, we will again talk to someone who has earned their stripes. Yes, we will be talking to another recipient of the Crime Initiative Gaining Stripes program. He'll be in with us to talk about what he won his for. We'll also be introducing you to some new music. Yes, our local people are doing lots on the stage and they're producing some awesome music videos. So we'll get to see a new one this morning. We will also be taking you back to a little bit of that Christmas fun and frolic in the park, which we had at the weekend. And then, you know, CBC is celebrating its 60th year, and there are many people who have been on board with the corporation during that time. We will get to speak with one of them, Adil Stewart, about his time here in the Pine and what he's up to now. We'll also be encouraging you to come to your phone lines and let us know what your wishes are for 2024. So, all this coming up on Morning Barbados. More news, sports, and weather after the break.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 90...
A project to transform the manner in which coconut vending and other aspects of industry are undertaken has begun. It involves providing safer spaces for the operations of coconut vendors and broadening the avenues for sales. CBC's Trevor Thorpe reports.
The unsightly coconut shells that were on the ABC Highway near Newton Christchurch are gone. Today, workmen from Export Barbados are busy transforming the area back to its original state. It is an initiative of Export Barbados BIDC and the Ministry of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology. The vendors operating here should take possession in a few days. CEO at Export Barbados BIDC, Mark Hill, said the project forms part of the Food Sciences program and is a far-reaching plan.
The public will pass and see a project developing next to Gildan. That is going to be a new international facility for the life sciences and for the road program doing digitizing. So what we're doing there is facilitating space for the vendors, because everybody will live, and therefore we must make sure that our vendors are part of our ecosystem as we build out our industrial landscape.
The BIDC official said the initiative is a model and is not just for the vendors at the Newton roundabout. He added that it's the start of an island-wide project that will embrace all coconut vendors across Barbados.
We've been asked to address the vendors at Newton, but we have developed a model that we believe that is transportable to other locations, the coconut stock model. So basically what that model does is it helps the vendors to be able to market their new position. So we did some branding, so you could do traceability. So if you buy coconut water from at Newton and for whatever reason something is to happen, you can trace that coconut water back to the particular vendor. So we believe that there are some of the innovations that we do as we facilitate exports and that we do for international manufacturing that can now be applied to the coconut vendor to help boost the overall industry.
The move is part of the long-term development of the coconut industry. He explained that the plan includes utilizing the Food Science Center for bottling and canning of coconut water.
We're going to be working with the vendors so that they can both meet the market needs on those who are what we call the drive-in customers, but also the customers that want to get a prepackaged coconut water. They can get a prepackaged coconut water from the same vendors. So you can actually off-take to the Food Science Center and we bottle it, package it, and we put it into the supermarkets and into the restaurants as a finished packaged product based on HACCP standards. So the coconut water is produced at a very high standard. Coconuts are washed down, sanitized, chopped to high levels of standards so you're getting a healthy product at the end of the day.
Ministry and Export Barbados officials are calling on the public to support the coconut vendors at their new location, accessible off the ABC Highway into the Newton Industrial Park. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
The Ministry of Health has confirmed that it recently secured about 5,000 COVID-19 vaccines that were primarily distributed in the polyclinic system. However, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Arthur Phillips explains that the ministry has noted a generally low level of uptake by the Barbadian public. While he was unable to give specific figures related to what was left of vaccines recently received, he noted that they had a very short frame for use of about 2 weeks. He also explained the approach the ministry is taking regarding future procurement of COVID-19 vaccines.
The demand for vaccines in recent times has been low, but Ministry of Health remains committed to ensuring that there is access to vaccines. So we continue to work with our partners to mobilize appropriate levels of vaccines to meet the local demand. But local demand in recent times has been very low.
It was an initiative conceptualized by a women's group of the Amazing Grace Seventh-day Adventist Church and aimed at bringing joy and cheer to the homeless and disenfranchised women of the city. Recently, the church based in Fairfield St. Michael ventured to Bridgetown with their version of an outdoor Christmas program, including ministry and song and the distribution of clothes and care packages. The church's community services leader, Judy Bourne, says the goal of the outreach project was to uplift those less fortunate and unable to enjoy the usual merriment of the Yuletide season.
I believe that some of the persons out here on the street are here because of things that they have done. But I also believe that some people are not here because of circumstance. And the Bible talks about the poor be with us at all times, always. So I believe that they too should have the opportunity to enjoy this aspect of Christmas, the gift giving and, feeling special.
Meanwhile, the church's first elder explained that his denomination does in fact celebrate Christmas with a focus on the reason for the season.
Now, I know a lot of people think that Seventh-day Adventists don't believe in Christmas. The truth is we do believe that Christ was born, and we do understand the importance of it. We don't believe that he was born on December the 25th, and so the way that we celebrate is more about giving than about getting. And so we have taken this opportunity to be in the city, share with the women those care packages specifically, but we have also been sharing with the men and the children. And we hope that what we do here today will bring some hope and some joy to them.
Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are being warned they could be fined for using fireworks during All Year's Night celebrations. The caution from Media Ambassador for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Sergeant Ansel Ford.
Sergeant Ford says the Summary Offences Act 1102 identifies fireworks as including bombs, torpedoes and rockets. He further explains Section 99 and its restrictions.
Speaks about fireworks in tongues, right? And they identify tongues to be the city of Port of Spain, city of San Fernando, the borough of Arima, right? And it speaks to anywhere within 2 miles of the boundaries of those tongues that it is unlawful to discharge fireworks, right? And if it is you do so, it carries a penalty of a fine of $1,000.
He is also warning the young ones against playing with these explosive devices.
There were videos on social media with young persons discharging fireworks at each other. Yes. Right? They were discharging fireworks at homes. They were discharging fireworks in vehicles occupied with other people, right? And we hope that persons understand that those behaviors, they are not safe. And you need to, I want to say, stop it.
With just days before the close of 2023, he is pleading with persons to remember the elderly and pets when using fireworks.
In the Bahamas, a local senior citizen's home has found itself in a challenging situation that could leave at least 48 residents without power. The owner of the home is making an urgent appeal for help as they struggle to pay a power bill of over $100,000.
The light bill is over $100,000.
Home away from home is the haven for some 48 residents. The owner, Murphy Knowles, opening her doors to those in need, regardless of their ability to pay. However, she says a familiar challenge remains. The power bills continue to pose a financial strain.
At North Boulevard is $26,335.26. This one here, 20 Amberjack, where all men is. This one here is $40,775.33. Here at 30 Amberjack, where we have all our ladies, it's we end up with 2 bills because they got 2 meters here, because this was a triplex also. One is $18,765.98, and the other one is $38,755.41.
Facing a staggering $125,000 power bill, the home has received generous donations. However, the owner admits that while she is grateful, it is simply not enough.
I got some people to come in and do. Somebody sent $10,000 that we put there. Plus, we had Doctors Hospital came in, and other persons like will send a check like for $500 or something there, but it's still not enough. The government said that they are willing to pay, but I'm having the challenges trying to get the paperwork and stuff together. Even though I got a license from the government department, I got approved of everything, but they still asking me for more documents.
Despite the financial burden, Knowles remains dedicated, showcasing her unwavering commitment to the residents she considers family.
There's a major new development to report regarding the teaching of Mandarin to students in Antigua and Barbuda. Primary school students are being given a unique opportunity in preparation for a global competition.
我爱你，妈妈。我的妈妈是个超人。
One Ton of Words, a Mandarin education company providing opportunities for Mandarin language education to primary school students in preparation for an international Chinese proficiency competition. Ria Stowe, co-founder of One Ton of Words, details the purpose of this initiative.
The Bridging Cultures Initiative is actually endorsed by the Embassy of China in Antigua, and also right now, very recently, the government of Antigua, the Ministry of Education. And what we're really aiming to do is to get an island-wide representation of primary school students who are learning the language of Mandarin, specifically Mandarin because it's really the future language.
Stowe highlights the phases in preparation for the International Chinese Proficiency Competition slated for 2025.
This is a phased approach of where we're basically getting, as I said, students to be represented in a competition. This competition is called the Chinese Bridge Competition, and it happens at a national level, a regional level, and then the finals is in China. The last 10 students standing between grades 2 to 4 were actually selected for the second evaluation round. And so this second evaluation round was where they had to submit a video, either doing something that they're talented in, reading a paragraph in Chinese, speaking about a cultural aspect of China, or the last one was a character storytelling composition, basically.
We sought reactions from parents of participating students.
I am excited. This is a different experience. It's something that, it's not the norm. We usually learn Spanish or French. It's great to be able to bridge out of that, So I'm really excited for this opportunity.
Exposure is good. As long as they're being exposed to a lot of different, because, growing up, learn a trade, okay? The world they live in today, knowledge is greater.
In sports, explosive opener David Warner is expected to miss the white ball portion of the West Indies tour of Australia in February in an effort to maximize his T20 league availability following his test retirement in Sydney next week. Warner has a deal with Dubai Capitals in the ILT20 with that tournament running from January 20th to February 18th. Australia play West Indies in 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20 internationals between February 2nd and 13th. The ODIs against West Indies mark the start of a new 4-year cycle towards the 2027 World Cup, which seems like a long shot for Warner. During the recent World Cup, Warner said he would not be taking a Cricket Australia Central contract next year in order to give himself more freedom. Time now to look at the weather picture. The barometric pressure stands at 13.2 millibars and the temperature is some 23.8 degrees Celsius. The humidity stands at 91% and the winds are coming from the northeast at 13 kilometers per hour. It's presently fair. The seas are smooth to moderate in open water, with swells ranging from 1 to 1.5 meters and steady. The first high tide was at 5:53 a.m. and the second will be at 5:08 p.m. The first low tide will be at 10:50 a.m. and the second at 11:52 p.m. In Barbados today, there will be a mix of sunshine and clouds with scattered light to moderate showers, mainly during the afternoon. Tonight is expected to be mostly clear. That's today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 p.m. on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Time now for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And a pleasant Good Friday morning to you. Yes, it's Friday. I am sure all of you all are relieved to be at the end of the week and getting ready to usher in a new year, 2024. This is our last Friday here on Morning Barbados for the year 2023. We're hoping that all of you had an awesome year. We're not yet quite at the end, so there's still some time coming up that we can make maybe 1 or 2 wishes come true, depending on how big a wish it might be. Today we are going to be talking to a young man who was just doing what he felt was good. And it's great to do things that we know are right, that we know are just, that we know are ethical. But when we are rewarded for it, it feels so much better. Yes, you're going to be hearing from one of our Gaining Stripes awardees. We had some others during the week. We're going to be having yet another today, a positive young man. We're also going to be talking about CBC. Yes, this year marked the 60th anniversary for the corporation here in the Pine. So we're going to be having someone who was a part of the CBC family looking back at things and how they went over the course of time. We'll also be introducing you to some videos and the like. We're going to have a good show. And I'm encouraging you to call me this morning. Get to those phone lines, 228-5562, 228-5563, and let's talk about what we want for 2024. Not just for self, but for nation, for the world, for our families, for everybody involved. We want to make it a more positive time. It's time now for me to say good morning to Cameron Edwards. Cameron is a recipient of the Gaining Stripes Award. First of all, congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, this young man's award is actually for honesty. And I'm going to let Cameron tell you exactly what it was that he did.
On that day, it was, it was a very cool day, I was at work, I studied well. Maybe, let me check my wallet because, I forgot to go to the ATM the day before because, you got to get money to get to work, to the bus, etc. So then, I checked, I was like, oh shoot, I ain't got nothing in my wallet, so. One of my partners, he was saying about he was going down to Old Town, which is actually a good stretch for me to get home, being on the vans and stuff. So I asked him, well, can you drop me to Massey as well when you're going on there? Because also I wanted to check something for my cooking, etc. So being that I know I had money obviously, but I had it portion, you have money portion out to do certain stuff. You don't want to take to explore. So when I got on there, I was saying I would just check Massey one time and see if they have the item that I'm looking for. So I went to the ATM to get the change stuff to get home. I see a lady and then I see this little boy a little far off. Like, who was this kid? Because, and it, made it make sense. I guess then the mom at the ATM was his mom, so. She was there, she was hustling a bit, and I was like, but I want to use the internet, she take it long. I don't know, she take it slow, tapping the ATM, ain't giving money. So, and she was like, alright, she told the little boy then, well, I got enough change, I can go in Massey and get what I need.
Okay.
So then I was like, alright, finally, she moved off then, she went Massey. I went to the ATM, now I got to push in my card. I push in here, beep, what's this? So when I beat now, it sounded like, your money come out and you're not like taking it.
Yeah.
I looked down and I see a whole bunch of cash and I was like, same time, like I would think twice to just grab it, fold it up in my hand, and I remember what she said, she was going in the supermarket. So I maintained, I just look for her up and down. If I her, I tell myself, if I find she ain't got no choice to go with the money, because I gave it to Massey for sure. So I just figured out if I ain't find she then. And the more I could do, and I can, So I then decided now I can go around. I come around like to the fruit section, which is back to the front. So I came around now, and that's when I saw her right there by the fruit section, the first son. And I was like, here. She was like, what's this? I was like, there's your money. She's like, what do you mean? She said, well, you gave me money? I said, there's not my money, it's your money. I actually came up from the ATM. She said, you serious? I said, yeah. She said, there's a prank. it's a prank. I said, no, it's not a prank, it's your money.
Did she look around for the camera? And she thought it was a prank. She should have looked for the camera.
Okay, it was like, whoa. But she was, you know, she was starting like, a young man bringing back her money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't believe it because more than likely, everybody would like, stiff it or carry on. Things of stuff like that. It's like, but it's your money. And she was like, oh my gosh, she gave me a hug. And it's like, oh my gosh. She said, this ain't done here. This ain't done here. It was like, so she ended up giving me a $20 bill. I'll cover the money, you know, and I was like, okay, thank you. It was like, no.
But it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary. It was just giving her back her money. It's her money. It's not mine. So why would I keep it? You know what I'm saying? That was how I was thinking. It's not my money. It's
and
yours.
that's how you were raised? Not to take what isn't yours?
It's work for what I want. That's how I was raised.
No, say it again. That you do what?
I was raised to work for what I want.
Good. We want more young people to hear that.
Yeah.
It makes sense to be honest and get what you want. No, she said it wasn't going to end there. And it didn't end there.
It didn't.
Because I think I remember you making some other media houses in terms of the and now the award.
Yes.
How did you find out about that and how did it take you?
I can't remember what happened. This happened like last year. She came to the house.
Yeah, she visited you.
Yeah, she called me. I was like, you home? I said, yeah. See mommy home? I said, yeah. I said, she said she's familiar with where I live. So I thought she just coming to visit, you know, shout moms. And then go, I see she pull up. And then she get out. This other girl get out. This shark guy get out with her. I was like, he went back for this state, you know, like a camera state. I'm like, what can I have? You know, and then he was like, this nation, he was like, bring to cause you remember tell you this ain't down here, right?
Okay.
Like, so then she did that there, you know, we told you a little story. So then I guess it got up a bit. Then I think I got a call from Colin Jordan.
Okay.
I think he was one. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but it was, I think Colin Jordan called me for sure. Then I think it was the Ministry of Youth that called and told me about in for a Phoenix Award something, and then special awards. Something that was going on. I was so lost. I was so confused about everything that was going on. Because it just quickly happened.
So all of these accolades fell into your lap just from being honest.
Yeah.
Things you didn't expect. Had you ever seen anything like that before? Have you ever been awarded or rewarded in this way before?
I have been awarded for stuff, but not like just honesty, not like just doing something for somebody. It was more like me being out there doing what I love to do or doing like sports, something like that.
Okay.
That's what I've been out there for. You understand my music? No.
Oh, you're into music too?
Yeah, I'm a musician.
Okay.
But, well, I think Frederick Smith, that was where I made basically start a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Not start, but come out, you know. Play
it helped you to develop and mold yourself.
I just always thought about, like, again, not be afraid to try things or do stuff. So I just ended up doing stuff after stuff after stuff. Like, I was in the steel orchestra. I was playing drums for the steel orchestra. I was in the pop band for Frederick Smith. I was doing sports. I was at BSAT running. I did bodybuilding competitions. Okay. I did a lot of stuff in school. You know, I just
like to keep active.
Yeah, I just like to do stuff.
Okay, Cameron the action man. Now, would you say that receiving the Gaining Stripes award has changed your life in any way?
In a way. I would say just a little more publicity and, you know, a lot more opportunities to do stuff or, you know, to get known to do stuff. But I wouldn't say it changed it much. It just, you know, for me personally, it just motivated myself even to be more honest. Because, like, you know, I never expected to get this much publicity or and honestly, I don't really like publicity, but I never expected to be here being from just, you know, doing something like that, because eventually it wasn't that big to me. It was just me giving her back her money.
But heaven knows what plans she had for that money, and how much it would have impacted, you know, had she lost it. But it was still good of her to ensure, you know, that people knew that there's still a lot of good and honest young men out here. How old are you now?
I'm 21.
You're 21. See, at just 21, when we say you make a man, the age of coming up. So we are happy, Cameron, that, you know, you have gained those stripes. And you gave somebody back their money and you got some money. Because that, you know, so I'm sure that would have felt good.
I didn't even know. It worked out. What? It worked out.
It did. Right. Now, let's talk about some of the other things that you as a young man would like to see coming out of other young men like yourself. Not just by being involved in sports or in music, but in terms of actually trying to change their attitudes and behaviors and to make this society a better one for all of us.
Okay. Well, my background start with my background start with church, basically. You know, as you grow up, you know, you always find distractions and stuff. You always want to do stuff and try stuff, especially as a young man, you know. But you tend to remain focused, and actually, you know, when you study on the background, because my mom is a pastor, my stepdad is a pastor, you know, I grew up with a church family, you know, and what they have taught me is that to do the right thing always, and it's the, you know, it's just the common right things as, you know, we grow up and we want to teach children, honesty, you got, you know, I can't really explain it, but just be good.
And you're from a far place, but a place I know. Where is it?
Basketball.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know how to find basketball, but they're great people who come out of basketball. Now, you cook, is it? Yes. So what are you hoping to do in terms of the development of that career? How much further do you want to go?
I don't want to go as far as I could with that career. I got a lot of more careers in my head I want to try, but for cooking I right now just looking to further my studies and be the best chef that I could be.
Okay.
For as long as I want
what's
to
the
be.
area you're in? What's your specialty in terms of being in the kitchen?
I have not been in the fine dining industry as long, but
or rather, what's your best meal to make then?
I just love to try things.
You just try anything?
I just try.
So there's no signature meal that I can say to Cameron I want to taste? There's nothing that you think you do particularly well?
I like to try egg. Egg is something that I just like to just
experiment with.
Yeah, because it got so much ways that things you could do with eggs, and it's like, you know, you just love to use it.
You gotta be careful to handle it well too.
Yeah.
Less, you know. Okay, so you're an egg man. Now, speaking of eggs and development and growth, you're soon gonna be a dad.
Yes, please.
What's the feeling now? I mean, there was no baby for Christmas, but there will be one in the New Year. So what are some of the things you have planned for this little one?
Well, the most I got planned is, you know, is to teach all the kids. You know, that's my goal. My number one goal is to teach who I have to teach, not even, you know, I don't have to be my kid, but if I could teach what I can, then that's what I would like to do. And raise my child to be the best that she could, you understand? And that's where...
Oh, you said she, so you know. You spilled the beans. It's okay. You can pretend like nobody heard you today, and you can still have your gender revealed. Don't let it spoil it. Don't let it spoil it. Still have your time.
Everybody's sleeping.
Yes, but outside of the sports and the cooking, well, there's also music. Tell me where you're looking to go, what you're looking to do exactly. You mentioned the pop band at school, but are you now looking maybe perhaps to pull your own band together? What are you looking to do?
For music as well, I'm looking to go as far as possible. Once I could, but mostly now I enjoy playing gospel the most. You know.
Yeah, because you did mention you're in the church.
Yeah. Before I was a case where, like I was in school, we would play different genres, but since COVID times, gigging come down a bit, because, places shut down, and it's like, but most places they play now is like church and like different little festivals, had a few church Christmas programs to play for through December. It was quite nice.
And this is drums, right?
I do play drums as well, but my main instrument is keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome instrument. We can move from that onto the organ and the piano and those
everything
things.
Else.
Yeah, everything works back to the keys. Now, music, daddy to be, honest man, cooking man, so that baby's not going to starve at any time, right? And then we have sport. Where do we fit that in?
I have been quite, shut down on sports for a while, being that it was mostly school thing. Since I came out of school, then my focus became more cooking.
Okay.
So it was more just, I wanted to actually pursue sports a little more, but because I know it would take up a lot of time and a lot of physical energy, at the moment I did not have, so I just, pick up something that I could have handled at the moment. That was, because too, when I finished school is around COVID time, everything shut down. Like, most I could do is, you can't really go outside and run, but you can't really do much. So I just stay inside. I have my little keyboard there, or practice keyboard in the morning, get up, practice my cooking, try some other meals, try to develop some more recipes in my head, try a lot of stuff.
So with all this cooking and this experimenting, who's around to eat it up?
Well, I got siblings. I would ask, well, what do I want to try this? You want some? I would carry it to my uncle, I would carry it to my mom. She would say, wow, that's really nice, And then you get a taste, and you're like, my sister always say, yo, when your egg is hit, boy, your egg is hit. Like,
okay.
Right,
So you've had a great support system.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say to you again, congratulations on this award, and ask you, well, outside of waiting for baby to arrive, what are you looking forward to for 2024?
For 2024, I'm looking forward to more blessings and to further myself in terms of my mindset, my skills, and even just being the best I could. That's what I'm looking for, and to just move up and constantly move up. I'm looking to go back at all.
No regression, only progression for 2024.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you keep that mantra and you keep on pushing and stay honest. We appreciate it so much that there are young men who will continue to do the right thing. So once again, Cameron Edwards, thanks for joining us here on Morning Barbados. Wishing you and mom the safest and best delivery for a healthy and happy child, and all the best for 2024.
Thank you.
That was Cameron Edwards, one of the recipients of the Gaining Stripes program. Morning Barbados will be back after the break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Kids Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV 8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Are you a youth group for which...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are back, and it's time to do the thing. Yes, we're going to do the thing that Kweku Jelani is doing, because that's the name of his new song. And a lot went behind his music. Now, it first premiered in October of this year, and he wants all of us to be inspired to do the thing. Now, the song was written by Kweku, and the track was produced by Jonathan Banfield of Vaucluse Studios. And the video was produced by Shakori Thompson and Joe Cloudy, a name we've heard before. And it features Kweku on trumpet, along with some other musical friends, Shane Jones on keys, Gavin Miller on bass, Juanita Wans Clark on drums, and a whole host of other people. So let's hear it.
Just do your thing. your soul. Woo, woo, woo. Now this thing ain't something to be bought and sold. No, 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 no. When you do that thing, you better give your all. It don't matter if it's black, white, short, and tall. No, 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 no. Just do your thing, baby. So look at the do. Just do your thing. No, 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 no. You gotta do your thing, baby. Just do your thing. You gotta do your thing. Lord, Lord, Lordy, Lordy, Lord, Lord, no. Just do your thing, no. You gotta do your thing. Woo, baby, no. Just do your thing, no, 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 no. You gotta do your thing.
Awesome. Kweku Jelani there. Do your thing. And you can get to see him this weekend in St. Andrew for the Kwanzaa Festival. Morning Barbados will be back in a bit.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hello, good day. My name is Dr. Diane Brackett. I'm the Clinical Director at the Barbados Diabetes Foundation and also the lead consultant at the Diabetes Clinic.
My tip for the week is plan it. And what do I mean by plan it? If you think about it realistically, we all live very, very busy lives. And if you take the time to plan your meals and nutrition over the coming week, you'll find that you'll actually eat healthier meals, spend less money, and they'll probably actually taste a lot better. So what exactly do I mean by plan it? Where are you gonna go? What you're gonna buy? Where are you gonna shop? What about your budget? When you're gonna cook food? Maybe when you're gonna prepare snacks for maybe the kids in the week. Take this cantaloupe for example. There's so many things that I can do with this. I could actually use this to make an unsweetened natural juice. Maybe hit it with a twist of lime. I can also cut it up and just eat it as fresh fruit. Maybe I can actually make a smoothie with it, with yogurt. You know what else I love to put cantaloupe in? Salad. Or how about using it as a chutney, a pickle, add it to meats. There's just so much stuff that you can do with just the simple things that you can buy. So remember, the health of our children matters. What you put in is what you get out. So plan your best life today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Here now with your morning news recap, I'm Wendy Burke. A project to transform the manner in which coconut vending and other aspects of the industry are undertaken has begun. It involves providing safer spaces for the operation of coconut vendors and broadening the avenues for sales. CBC's Trevor Thorpe reports.
The unsightly coconut shells that were on the ABC Highway near Newton Christchurch are gone. Today, workmen from Export Barbados are busy transforming the area back to its original state. It is an initiative of Export Barbados BIDC and the Ministry of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology. The vendors operating here should take possession in a few days. CEO at Export Barbados BIDC, Mark Hill, said the project forms part of the Food Sciences program and is a far-reaching plan.
The public will pass and see a project developing next to Gildan. That is going to be a new international facility for the life sciences and for the road program doing digitizing. So what we're doing there is facilitating space for the vendors, because everybody will live, and therefore we must make sure that our vendors are part of our ecosystem as we build out our industrial landscape.
The BIDC official said the initiative is a model and is not just for the vendors at the Newton roundabout. He added that it's the start of an island-wide project that will embrace all coconut vendors across Barbados.
We've been asked to address the vendors at Newton, but we have developed a model that we believe that is transportable to other locations, the coconut stock model. So basically what that model does, it helps the vendors to be able to market their new position. So we did some branding, so you could do traceability. So if you buy coconut water from at Newton and for whatever reason something is to happen, you can trace that coconut water back to the particular vendor. So we believe that there are some of the innovations that we do as we facilitate exports and that we do for international manufacturing that can now be applied to the coconut vendors to help boost the overall industry.
The move is part of the long-term development of the coconut industry. He explained that the plan includes utilizing the Food Science Center for bottling and canning of coconut water.
We're going to be working with the vendors so that they can both meet the market needs and those who are really called the drive-in customers, but also the customers that want to get a prepackaged coconut water. They can get a prepackaged coconut water from the same vendors. So you can actually off-take to the Food Science Center and we bottle it, package it, and we put it into the supermarkets and into the restaurants as a finished packaged product based on HACCP standards. So the coconut water is produced at a very high standard. Coconuts are washed down, sanitized, chopped to high levels of standards so you're getting a healthy product at the end of the day.
Ministry and Export Barbados officials are calling on the public to support the coconut vendors at their new location, accessible off the ABC Highway into the Newton Industrial Park. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
The Ministry of Health has confirmed that it recently secured about 5,000 COVID-19 vaccines that were primarily distributed in the polyclinic system. However, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Arthur Phillips explains that the ministry has noted a generally low level of uptake by the Barbadian public. While he was unable to give specific figures related to what was left of the vaccines recently received, he noted that they had a very short frame for use of about 2 weeks. He also explained the approach the ministry is taking regarding the future procurement of COVID-19 vaccines.
The demand for vaccines in recent times has been low, but Ministry of Health remains committed to ensuring that there is access to vaccines. So we continue to work with our partners to mobilize appropriate levels of vaccines to meet the local demand. But local demand in recent times has been very low.
Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are being warned they could be fined for using fireworks during Old Year's Night celebrations. The caution from Media Ambassador for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Sergeant Ansel Ford.
Sergeant Ford says the Summary Offences Act 1102 identifies fireworks as including bombs, torpedoes and rockets. He further explains Section 99 and its restrictions.
Speaks about fireworks in tongues, right? And they identify tongues to be the city of Port of Spain, city of San Fernando, borough of Arima, right? And it speaks to anywhere within 2 miles of the boundaries of those tongues that it is unlawful to discharge fireworks, right? And if it is you do so, it carries a penalty of a fine of $1,000.
He is also warning the young ones against playing with these explosive devices.
There were videos on social media with young persons discharging fireworks at each other. Yes. Right? They were discharging fireworks at homes. They were discharging fireworks in vehicles occupied with other people, right? And we hope that persons understand that those behaviors, they are not safe. And you need to, I want to say, stop it.
With just days before the close of 2023, he is pleading with persons to remember the elderly and pets when using fireworks.
There is a major development to report regarding the teaching of Mandarin to students in Antigua and Barbuda. Primary school students are being given a unique opportunity in preparation for a global competition.
我爱你，妈妈。我的妈妈是个超人。
One Ton of Words, a Mandarin education company providing opportunities for Mandarin language education to primary school students in preparation for an international Chinese proficiency competition. Ria Stowe, co-founder of One Ton of Words, details the purpose of this initiative.
The Bridging Cultures Initiative is actually endorsed by the Embassy of China in Antigua, and also right now, very recently, the government of Antigua, the Ministry of Education. And what we're really aiming to do is to get an island-wide representation of primary school students who are learning the language of Mandarin, specifically Mandarin because it's really the future language.
Stowe highlights the phases in preparation for the International Chinese Proficiency Competition slated for 2025.
This is a phased approach of where we're basically getting, as I said, students to be represented in a competition. This competition is called the Chinese Bridge Competition, and it happens at a national level, a regional level, and then the finals is in China. The last 10 students standing between grades 2 to 4 were actually selected for the second evaluation round. And so this second evaluation round was where they had to submit a video, either doing something that they're talented in, reading a paragraph in Chinese, speaking about a cultural aspect of China, or the last one was a character storytelling composition, basically.
We sought reactions from parents of participating students.
I am excited. This is a different experience. It's something that, it's not the norm. We usually learn Spanish or French. It's great to be able to bridge out of that, So I'm really excited for this opportunity.
Exposure is good. As long as they've been exposed to a lot of different, because, growing up, learn a trade was okay. The world they live in today, knowledge is greater.
The United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees has warned that not enough aid is entering besieged Gaza, leaving 40% of its population at risk of famine, amid Israeli curbs on entry of much-needed aid trucks to enter the enclave. The UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, on Thursday renewed its warning that the besieged enclave is grappling with catastrophic hunger as it reiterated calls for a humanitarian ceasefire as non-stop Israeli bombs rained from the north to the southern part of the enclave.
Palestinians in Gaza know outrunning Israeli bombs is futile, but it doesn't stop them from trying.
Our home was demolished and my son was killed. We fled and the bombing lasted all night. We came here from Khan Yunis. There is no proper shelter. Every time we go to an area, they target us there.
Families and strangers crowd together in tents in Deir al-Balah as the Israeli military pushes ahead with its ground assault further north.
We ask for one thing: stop this war, stop people suffering at any cost. It is terrible. Children are sleeping in the cold. I brought a disabled girl from Al Burej. I struggled to bring her here. Walking all this way with disabled people and children, this is the height of suffering. Death would be more merciful.
Many fled their homes without enough warm clothes and blankets. They thought they'd be able to return. The UN is warning all Palestinians in Gaza are at risk of famine. More than 500,000 people are already starving. And malnourished children, especially those forced to sleep outside, are vulnerable to hypothermia. It's either death by bombs and bullets or a slow death from hunger and cold.
Leave me alone. Let me live. Either you let me live or kill me. I don't want to see the tragedy of my children when they say they want bread, and I'm unable to give it to them. Our money has run out. There is nothing left.
On the brink of despair, these families have been displaced multiple times, and now that they may well be forced to move again.
And that's your morning news recap. Coming up on Morning Barbados, we'll be talking with Adil Stewart, one of the many faces who was here at the CBC during our 60 years. We will also be encouraging you to come to your phone lines. Let's have a chat this morning. What are you looking forward to for 2024?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're back with Morning Barbados. As you know, CBC is celebrating 60 years this year. Yes, 60 years. And in the Pine, there were a number of people who helped to bring it all together. Those on staff, those outside. And one of the people who was around a lot would have been image consultant, beauty and image consultant, Adil Stewart. Good morning to you, Adil.
Good morning. It's nice to be here, and congratulations to CBC, because 60 years is really a milestone, and it really is quite a long time. But we had enjoyable times in those days.
Yes, they were, and we're going to talk about them. But before we get there, should I still be calling you Adil Stewart, or should I be calling you Reverend?
No, still Adil. I haven't elevated to Reverend yet.
Okay, but we're going to get there, though.
Well, we don't know. That's left to be seen. 2024 will reveal what will be the outcome of that.
Okay, but congrats to you on having reached partway of that journey.
Yeah.
Now,
thank you.
Your time here in the Pine, how long was it, and what department were you under?
Well, the time that most people would know about and be familiar with was when I came in June 2003 when they were looking at redoing the image. And I used my skills and my training over that I was trained when I was in New York. That's part of what I was trained in film and television. So it was not only the makeup, I was in charge of the makeup, the hair, and the entire image on camera. So if people cast in my map from the anchors from 2003 coming down to when I departed there in 2007, that was one of the main things that I did. And I was ably assisted by a staff. I had a staff of people that I brought on to help do it. Because, in this life, you can't do these things by yourself. As good as you might be, you can't achieve everything by yourself. So I had the staff that worked with me very diligently to keep the anchors and everybody looking nice and fresh.
Now, in terms of keeping that nice and fresh along the way, do you find that all staffers back then were open to the changes you would have wanted to make, the difference in hairstyles, maybe perhaps if they needed to get a chop, were they open to it generally? How did you find the reception to you and your services?
I think the reception was very warm. They welcomed it with open arms, because who don't want to look good? And they love the ease of not having to be bothered about what to wear from home. They could have left home in anything, and time for news, they come down to me, because he also provided wardrobe, which was provided by, I think it was Sani's then for the ladies, that was in Tonga Country. They had entered into agreement with me. They supplied the clothes as well as a bed and company limited. They supplied all the men's clothes. So we had full wardrobe there, and that we would select and choose and color coordinate. And along with that, I added jewelry. When I traveled, I would buy nice costume jewelry and stuff to adorn the ladies with. So to come down and you get your hair done and your makeup done and you feel really good. Once they felt good going on set, they delivered. Because when you know you look good, you can sit down there and deliver.
No, I want you to say that again, because a lot of people seem to think that you just jump in front of the camera and do it all. But if you feel out of sorts internally and with your own image, you're going to be out of sorts in terms of said delivery. So I just want you to make that clear for the public so that they understand that it is not just a get up and go show. These things need lots of pre-prep before you actually get to that camera.
Yeah, but image is very important, especially when it comes to television. And this is one of the things I learned, because I would have done some stints with ABC and NBC when I was in New York. And I also taught makeup and skincare and stuff at Christine Valmy. So beyond that, they didn't only get a makeup artist and a pro image. I also was assisted to them in skincare. At that time, I had a full service salon. So there was a whole lot of fringes I added on that people didn't know. The staff was welcome to come to me and get regular facials done, because once their skin is in good order, it makes it easier for me, and it's better for eye candy for them on the camera once they're looking good. Same with the hair. A lot of them was allowed to come get their hair washed, treat, and stuff like that, and make sure that all times that they look their best. And once you feel comfortable about how you look, yes, you will deliver.
Now, in terms of the programming that you would have been involved with, because it calls for getting up at all hours. I know you said you had a team, yes, but were there any programs during your stint here that you enjoyed working on more so than some of the others?
But it's hard to say that. I enjoyed CBC on the whole. I enjoyed it all. Because as I said, what people did not realize, I took on a real Herculean task, because there's no morning that I can get up and decide I feel bad and I can't make it and I run in late. When that theme ran at 6 o'clock, they're expected to see their anchors sitting in, looking at them, wherever they were, either in their bedroom, their kitchen, or what have you. They had to be ready. So if it did raining, thundering, whatever it was doing outside, 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to make sure I was at CBC. So people didn't realize that that was part of it. So you can't be late and you can't be absent. You had to be there. So I enjoyed it. I did that. I did the funny thing that people didn't know either. The original contract was I did a lot for CBC because of love of country and service, and I really was concerned about the image of CBC to the people of Barbados as well as the diaspora and the Caribbean region where CBC is picked up. I did a lot of extras that people didn't know about. So I was really only supposed to do 5 programs. And at the time I said to Dr. Decott, this don't make sense. If we can raise the bar, we can't raise the bar halfway. And some programs that nice and clean and fresh, and the others look, to use the young people terms, pop down. couldn't let that happen. So basically what would happen is that I ended up doing a whole lot of extra stuff, and I helped in a lot of areas. So I can't really say that there was any one program that I liked more than the eggs. I mean, I did the midday one. I can't remember the name it was that we used to do in
Chat
the middle
room.
of the day. Chat room, yes, that was the name. Chat room. So chat room was one. It was the news. It was Morning Barbados. I had to do. There was book talk and line and length. I think those were the ones that I was contracted to do.
Okay.
But then you had all the other programs. And when I was not available at CBC, I also opened my salon to the anchors. So I said, if something comes up in a hurry and you have to go, please do not go looking greasy, because it doesn't only reflect on CBC, it also reflects on me because my name is rolling up there as the image person. So I really stood in the on guard and made sure that they all looked well.
But you weren't
let me give
only
you a
there
joke
for the.
about what actually, one
Okay,
of the
before
things
you
that
get
actually
there,
happened.
you know that's a term that I remember from you clearly from my days back then. They look greasy. You would listen, because you introduced me to silk powder. I remember that well. No, Wendy, if you ain't have anything else and you got that little silk powder in your purse, you're going to be nice on the screen. If they're in the foundation, get the silk. No, yeah, and you used to be jokes galore. I mean, you still are. It's always fun times when we meet up with you. But go ahead and tell us your joke.
No, one of the things that there was this competition that was on where I think it was, I can't remember the hotel name thing, where you won, a couple had won the wedding. You know where Marriott's Barbados now, I can't remember, they had started and they had won this wedding in the city. So they got married at Hero Square and the reception was kept up there. I can't remember what was the competition, and this couple had won to get their wedding done in the city, right down there by Hero Square, and then the reception was at the hotel then where now Marriott's is now. And Peter and Joel were supposed to cover this thing. I said, but if y'all covering a wedding, you can't just go to a wedding in normal looking clothes, CBC clothes. You got to dress the part. So you got to look like you're part of the guest, although you're covering it.
Don't look as if you're crashing.
I went off to dress Joel in a fabulous outfit. Nefertari at the time sold a beautiful outfit for Peter Ali. And I put them on camera looking spacious. So the thing is, I was a stickler for those details. Nobody didn't tell me to do it, but I said, but if they're just going ordinary clothes, yeah, you're doing the coverage, but yeah, the image, the overall image has to say something.
Yeah, because that's very important, because it is key that we not stick out looking odd, but that we blend in to whatever the occasion is. So like when you have the opening of Parliament and the throne speech and whatever,
there's certain times
there's certain things you have to do. I mean, like people ask me where you're going with the fascinator, but I've been invited to. Never mind, I'm working. I've been invited, so I have to look like I'm a part of it all.
Yeah, and then I crop over.
Yes.
The next thing was crop over. All these were extras I did at crop over when they had the crop over thing that Admiral used to host. I
Yes.
took it upon myself to stay and made sure all the Calypsonians looked presented, and Admiral himself looked good for that. And I remember there were nights we tried all kind of things. We used to do the news on finals night. Part of the news used to come from the stadium, and then we would throw back to the station for the weather person. So I had somebody at the station to do the weather person and the anchor there. And I myself went down to the stadium, and I would have done all the people that they were going to interview on the spot down there, and the anchor that was carrying it from the stadium. So we really did some great work back in those time. But
When
that
we
was the
come-
period most people know.
Yes.
I had a connection with CBC long before that. It
We're
didn't
gonna
start in
talk
2003.
We're going to talk about that after the break. We're going to come back and talk about that and making up the guys and so on. Morning Barbados will be back in a bit with Adil Stewart.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're back. We're reflecting on CBC's 60 years and the people who've been on board to help us get to that time. And one such person is Adil Stewart, beauty and image consultant. Now, before we went off, we were talking about the outside broadcast and all that was involved with them. But what I want to look at now, Adil, is sometimes being a makeup artist, you come across all the varying personalities and you have to deal with it. And like, I know sometimes some men might be a little averse to having that shine taken off. So why do I need a haircut? My beard is okay where it is. Did you have, you don't have to call names, but did you have any problem ones? And then who are some of the people who were a dream for you to work with in terms of them always complying and doing the things you advised?
The thing is, I can't say that because even the guys that I had to come into contact with, even if they had their reservations about it, I think it is not what you do, it's the way you do it, and it's how you approach people. And most of them, once I explained to them what I was doing, was quite on board with it. And then you had those that totally enjoyed it. I love the pampering and everything. So I really can't say that I had any of the CBC anchors that gave me any problems when it come to looking good. And it got to the point that even outside of that, when they had to go to their own function, some of them would come and ask my advice on what I think they should wear, and if this look good and if that look good. So it extended way beyond just CBC. So I opened them up to a whole new culture that they took it in and they enjoy it. I can't think of anybody that really gave me any problems personality wise.
No stress
And
at
you know,
all.
you were trained to deal with that. So, you know, yes, there will be some people and that will be avert to certain things, but once you do your job the way that it should be done and correctly and pay attention to sanitation and bacteriology, I always made sure that everything was clean and sterilized, and when I had to use stuff on people. So to this day, for the tenure that I was there, nobody could have complained that they got any problems from makeup or getting makeup done or got any problems forever.
Yeah.
Everybody really had a good time. I taught them how to look after the skin. They were free to come to me to get facials done, those that wanted to come to keep the skin looking good. So they really had a good time. I enjoyed the time with them, and I think they enjoyed the time with me.
Now, outside of doing the faces, you also would throw a hand in sometimes and assist with set decor.
Yeah, I did that before. Before we get to that, what used to happen, because I was so versed in so many different things, because my repertoire of things are wide. I remember many mornings, sometimes we have shortage of guests or guests didn't turn up for whatever reasons. And I remember Carol on the set telling them, put the microphone up and short and said, yeah, wait, we can find something to talk about. Basically, we go into detail about some part of skincare, different situations. I did a whole thing with Doug Hoy on pedicures one morning when we were short of people, and nobody really ever know. But I always used to do all the fillers.
But that's
But
awesome.
but outside of that, before that, it's my set decor days, because a lot of people may not know I was into horticulture. I was into horticulture. I used to do stuff with the late Monica Young and Rodney Braffett, who was also an announcer that he passed on. And Rodney and I used to do a lot of decorating for people, and we were into horticulture. I grew a lot of things in my garden, ginger lilies and stuff like that. So when Betty had the program, Betty Lynch had the program, Not Just for Women, the set that she had needed decor. I said, well, Betty, we can't do this like this. I can sort out the set for you. So if you ever look back at any of the footage, all of them plants and footage and ginger lily arrangements and everything, I used to throw them in my little old minimo, up to minimo to CBC every Sunday, and we would decorate this set before Not Just for Women. And that was an ongoing thing with us for all the series and Not Just for Women. And that was, I did that for the love of CBC, Betty, all of us that were there. Joel Ford was there. Her aunt would cook food and send down for us sometimes. And we had a ball doing it.
And that's what you need in an industry like ours, to know that if ever there's a shortfall in any area or something doesn't come through at the time it should, somebody there has the talent and skill to fill in and make it look as if nothing ever went awry.
Yeah. One morning, Carol called me about me when we first started and we were at Simpson Motors. Somebody didn't turn up. And Carol said, call Stuart quick, Teddy come down. I jump out of my bed at Christmas time, trying to Santa hat. And up to this day, I can reveal something now that nobody didn't know. I appear on set in these pretty pants and this lovely red top and the Santa hat. But that was my pajamas that I jumped on my bed. We were racing against time. I said, there's no business like show business. I ain't got time to look for the clothes now. Try to Santa hat for this a step. This is the season. And the tutus I was up there, I went through this whole thing with I decided to walk with a whole lot of pedicure stuff. And we went through the whole remnants and the importance of pedicure and did for that time. And people would never have known.
You know now.
You know, so you have to be a team player. CBC really allowed me to do a lot of things that really helped them and also helped myself, because a lot of people get to know about me, and I then became a household word and a household name because I was in people's house on mornings. I would pass people in town and they would speak to you. I know the people, but the people know me because I always on their TV. So
Yes.
they pick up this rapport with me that they figured that we were good friends because you used to be talking to me about skincare things. And out of that, people called me for advice on different things. At that point, I used to do a whole lot of weddings. So it was really a win-win situation. So it also shows people nowadays, this, not that you ain't supposed to work for money, but sometimes there are other things that you do that greater rewards than if you had insist I gotta be paid for this and I ain't doing this or I am not doing that. It's at the end of the day, the way how I saw it, it was the talent that God gave me. And if you're blessed with something, you should pass it on. So I just share it.
Yeah, sharing is caring. That's what I always say. And another thing you remarked on, and it's so, so true, how CBC has always been in touch with the community. I remember it was our motto at one point, in touch with the community and reflecting the pride. Because one of the things you said that stands out is that you were doing it for love of nation. It wasn't
Yeah.
just about Adil and the payday and making sure that everybody knows how great your makeup skills are, but it was about the totality of it, ensuring that everything that was there looked the way it should look, and that as you come into people's homes, everything is as pristine as can possibly be. Now,
Correct.
after your time here in the Pine, you've gone on to do many, many things. And one of your more recent ones was that of graduating from the UWI with your bachelor's in theology. Now, you and I would have been talking about this every time we see each other. And we know how
Yeah.
UWI can be. Great institution, but a little stressful every now and again for those who work and study. Now, tell me about the journey and how it feels now to have received that scroll there from Registrar Rommel Carter.
It felt great. I think that was one of the high points in my life. If that was not, that was one of the greatest moments in my life. I ain't had many of them, but that was that was one of the great moments in my life, and I felt it was an accomplishment. That to this day, sometimes you're driven to do certain things, and people who knew me well would know that theology was one of the things that I was always interested in from school, because I used to belong to the school Christian fellowship, yeah, SCN. And I also brought up in the Anglican church with my mother. I did a lot of work in the different Anglican churches. Just laugh at me because I travel about from churches to churches, fit in wherever you can fit in to do whatever work that needs to be done. And that seemed to be my portfolio, so I ran it with it. But I always had in the back of my head that maybe I should do theology. I need to, and not only that, you had a lot of unanswered questions in there that you wasn't sure about. Yeah, you go to church because religion is one thing, but your spirituality is something else. And most of the time, you are the religious part of it, where the religion part of it. People have their own doctrines and they will teach you what they want to teach you. But I was really never just the person that was settled for that. I always wanted to know more. So somehow I find myself at Cardinal College. I can't remember how I get there, but I find myself there one day. And since I was there, so since I here, let me ask a question. And I went to the office. At that point, Dr. Michael Clark had just took up the job as principal. So when he saw me, he says, "Yes, come, come. Will you take long enough to get here? Bring all of you and come. We like people like you." So I spoke to who was the person then? I think it was Shirley Maskell that was there then. And I said, I was always interested in doing diploma. Funny thing, I only wanted to do a diploma. So I asked the question about the diploma, find out the costing, and decide, all right, I think I can tackle this because the diploma now was about 18 months. So this every Saturday morning from 10, I think, to 12 was the class. And the thing is, I never did it before because having the salon business, in the heyday of my business, every Saturday, I used to be busy from early in the morning till God met midnight. And I got weddings and all kinds of things in between there. So I said to myself, how would I ever find this time on Saturday morning to do this diploma? But I went on and with it always in the back of my head and figured, well, if it is to happen one of these days, it will happen. So after things slowed down, and business get kind of quiet. That's how I ended up there. I said, well, all right, I can try this diploma. I should be able to map out the Saturday mornings, and then I would put most people then in the afternoon after I leave here. So I felt good about that, and I said, okay, we can sign up for the diploma. But Adil, as Adil is, ain't stop there. I asked too much questions. That's my problem. So when they tell me about the diploma, I said, cool, I can do this. Then a thought hit me in the back of my head. After you do this diploma, suppose you want to do something more. What else is there? So Shirley said to me, the only thing to do after the diploma would be the degree. I should have shut my mouth at that point. I didn't. I went on to ask another question. So if I didn't have to do the degree, would I be credited for the diploma? Well, she told me no. It doesn't work like that because the diploma is a different program totally to the degree. So if you come back now to do the degree, you will have to start from the top and come down. I said, but at this stage of my life, that ain't really make any sense. To do 18 months and then go come back to do 4 years or 5 years doing the degree. I said, boy, because well do the degree one time and jump off at the deep end. And here we are.
But when you jumped in, you swam. There was a lifeline there for you.
Let me tell you, I jump off at deep end. It's only when I get home itself to be as you just got to do. You sign up to do a whole degree. And don't forget, I come out of the days of writing on food scrap paper and all of that.
Yeah.
So I had the rude awakening that I had to go and buy this laptop and printer. And I really is not the best when it comes to technology. So I really had it rough. So in studying, I have to learn how to maneuver the computer and do different things on the computer
but
that
I
other
know
people
that
would
you
know
have
how
a
to do
nephew.
and drop a hat.
But I know your nephew has always been helpful to you. So I'm
But yeah,
sure that you could have picked up that
No,
phone.
a lot of people had me here.
Yes.
A lot of people had me, you know. And I remember, like, you get a joke about me because every year you had different hurdles to overcome. Because doing a degree, I must tell you, is rewarding, but it is not an easy task. When God set you to do something, He ain't tell you that it can be an easy road. He say He ain't gonna left you. He gonna carry you through. And by pure faith, He carried me through. There are many moments that my faith brought me through because there were days that I didn't figure I was gonna make it. There were times that I figured, no, this is too much. I can't handle this. I can walk away and leave this. But I throwing the towel many days, and the Lord threw the towel back at me and tell me, wipe your face and keep coming.
Keep going.
Wipe your face and keep coming.
And you made it to
don't
the
stop.
end. Yeah.
I
So
stopped
now
it there.
that
I
you
would
have
finish.
it, what do you plan to do with it? Or you've not yet answered that question?
I have not yet finalized what I'm doing. I can do several things. I can go into the counseling from here because I did my major in clinical pastoral education. Instead of writing a thesis, I had a choice to do either that program or write a thesis. And I did the clinical pastoral education. There was a joke with that too. That was not easy either because when I took that on, along came COVID. So I took that on figuring, okay, I will get to kind of dealing with people and being out in the field. So the clinical pastoral education meant that that would have been the second year. And the people that went ahead of me would have been able to go to institutions like Vernon House and stuff and meet with people and talk, because it's a really hands-on program. But along came COVID and we can't go nowhere. We shut down. So we had to figure out with Dr. Bradford, who was our tutor, excellent person, how we can get this thing accomplished. And we really can't go and visit nobody.
It's true.
So we had to write verbatim. So I had to go back on things that encounters that you had with people and write, the verbatim experience from there, from people where you've talked to. You more or less would have had to talk to people on the phone and stuff like that. But we, by God's grace, we got through it. The next fun joke with me with this degree, when we shut it down, I came home. most of the tutors that when you decide, okay, but let us add on, they came to the conclusion, because everybody trying to figure this thing out. Let us give them additional assignments to do, and the marks from that, because we can't come and do face-to-face exams. There it is. One of my tutors, he decided he can do a mix. He can do a multiple choice thing, but we still have to. He still wants us to at least write one assignment and drag it and drop it in the drop box, so you know that this is foreign language now to me. Because I gotta learn
French,
how to
Latin, Spanish, and German.
Everything there. I have to figure out now.
And if anybody helps you, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Anybody
so
helps you cheating. Yes.
I said to myself, no, I said, how you can manage this thing? Because the portals open at different times, because all the students went back to their respective countries. So the portals open, they send a message when the portal would be for us in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. So you gone and you had like 5 hours to read the question, type up this question, and drag it and drop it in the box. Me now, that is not the fastest typist, the 2-finger typist, because once before I would sit down, type my assignments and send them in. That was working well. But the Lord said, no, because I can put you in a very uncomfortable position now. You're doing this exam, so you got to type this assignment,
yes,
punctuate it and everything. I get it done in the time I get in, so you got to get home.
It took you 5 hours to figure it out first.
No. I had to figure it out quick. I had to figure it out very quick.
Okay.
So you're at home doing this exam.
Yes.
So see me now set at the house. Unplug all the phones. Put a notice on the gate telling the body, do not disturb exam in progress. So people don't call me in the middle of doing this thing.
Yes.
Unplug every phone and turn off everything.
And
when I sat at the computer, I then realized, well, I said, how you going to do this? You can't type fast. And you can't call nobody to help you to do it.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I didn't know what to do. At that point in time, I figured, well, this is the aim. This is it. I really ain't gonna make this. And in my time, I call a friend. I called a very dear friend of mine. I called him. I says, what you can do here? He tell me, Adil, do not panic. You have an Apple laptop. I said, yes. He says, look to the right column up in the corner. There's a device there says dictation device.
Okay. That's how
if you hit that device and talk to the computer, you got the information in your head. If you hit the device and talk to the computer, it's going to type it for you. Once you're articulate, well, what you do, it will type it for you, get all the information out, and you only have to go back now through and punctuate it properly and do any correction.
That's
was
awesome.
a savior. That was the first time I knew about this dictation device. Let me tell you.
I am so happy that it saved you. And I'm also
it was
happy.
Really,
yeah, it was a trying time, but you got there.
It was a trying time.
So congrats once again. All the best going forward in 2024. Thanks for having been on board at the CBC in its 60 years and helping out in all the ways that you did. So from us here on Morning Barbados, I want to extend to you all the best for the season and for 2024. Thanks so much for coming and joining us this morning.
Thank you. It was nice of you to remember me and have me on the program. I greatly appreciate it. And I also wish you all and the staff all the best for the coming year for you and for CBC, however it turns out.
Thank you so much. Morning Barbados will be back after the break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacey Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kim.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Now, while we're almost at the finish line of 2023, there are a few things that happened that we don't want to forget and we like to reminisce on. And for so many people, Christmas in the park is awesome. It's a must go, a must do. But for those of you who did not get to be there, like myself, here now is the Barbados Police Service Band bringing you the sounds of Christmas.
A big welcome and Merry Christmas to Big Red and the Dash Brothers. It's wonderful to have them here, supporting us every year, dashing as ever. Have a wonderful Christmas, gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, general practitioner and healthy lifestyle advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet.
You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Now, before we go, remember we had some Kwanzaa people on. Yes, it is the 3rd annual Kwanzaa celebration, a family, community, and heritage event at the Ngozi Farm and Cultural Sanctuary in Turner's Hall, St. Andrew. You could go on down this Saturday and be a part of that. Also, on the 1st of January, you can head over to the National Botanical Gardens, where they will be doing Umoja in the Garden from 1 until 5 p.m. Yes, go on out and be a part of the Kwanzaa celebrations. I'm sure you have your plans in place for all years, etc. I asked the guys what they want for the new year. It's all about the Benjamins, folks. But that's okay. We all like success in different ways, and I can't fault you for it. All I'll ask is that you'll be like our young man who earned his stripes and always be honest in achieving it. This is our last show for the year 2023. So I want to wish all of you, our viewers out there, a happy, prosperous, and productive 2024 with all that you hold dear, and for those who you hold dear as well. So from Morning Barbados crew, here's wishing you and viewers a blessed 2024.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.